What's the deal? It's your baby Tay Boogie, and you are now tuned in with FLI TALK. Yep.
Yeah.
Ayo, J Stacks. Hit him with the 808s.
Yeah. Yo, what's happening? On this Sunday, we back with another edition of Fly Talk Live. I'm your host, Jay Stats, and you know we gotta bring in greatness. We gotta bring in our top female artist in the city right now doing big
Say
things. She needs
that.
no introduction, but we're gonna let her go ahead and tell her name for y'all real quick out there.
What's good, y'all? I'm Tay Boogie. I am, like he said, I'm a female artist in the city of Flint, so I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Appreciate you for coming out too and accepting the invitation too with
Absolutely.
your busy schedule. Cause I've literally been watching everything that you've been doing for the past couple of years and the rise and elevation that you have created and the standard you have set, not just for females, but for males too, is definitely outstanding.
I
So
appreciate that
we
a
love to
lot.
see excellence at a higher form. So go ahead and tell the audience out there a little bit about yourself and the name Tay Boogie.
Tay Boogie, where I get the name from, it's really a simple story. I wish I had like a cool ass breakdown of it, y'all, but I don't. My sister and her dude, they married now, but at the time it was her boyfriend. They had met, and I had always played with my name like I was Tay Baby, I was Tay B,
Mm-hmm.
shit like that growing up. And when we met, I don't know, he just started calling me Tay Bug, and then Tay Bug like transformed into Tay Boogie. And so when I always wrote and rapped, and so when I eventually decided to start dropping, I was like, damn, what I'm gonna call myself? And then I was just like, Tay
Mm-hmm.
Boogie, like let's rock with it. So it's dope to me to see that people now and they be like, it kind of got a ring to it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, do it, because it was just a name Doug gave me. Like, so
It
yeah,
do it, and nobody else got it too. So you gotta look at it like that. Like you are one of one. I look
absolutely,
at it. So and then with that name, it rings, and everybody gonna be up on it. So
that's dope.
Tay Boogie
Yep, I'm
live.
her.
So about your upbringing too. What got you? Let's start off with what got you into doing music.
Okay. I always been into writing, just always. So I was writing like short stories and stuff like that before I was ever like just putting songs together.
Mm-hmm.
My mama was always into music. My daddy DJ when I was younger, so it was always turntables in the house, always records around. Which I didn't grow up with them together, so I was catching like separate drifts. So they taste in music.
For sure.
Um, but my mama always been real big on music. She is probably like a lot of my musical influence and where it come from.
Mm-hmm.
So we listen to a lot of like classic shit and shit like that. And I just used to like the way that they would flow on beats, like just a certain way that different cadences would catch. And I really cannot recollect like when I decided that I was gonna start writing, but I just can remember hearing a beat and being like, I could do this. Like I could do this. And my homegirls, they would dance and do other shit. Like they wasn't into rapping. And I used to try to make them freestyle with me, like, come on, y'all, we gotta get better. We gotta get
Yeah.
better. And they used to be like, who? Like we don't want to do that shit. So I
Damn.
had to really
Okay.
find my lane. They would do it with me, but they wasn't having fun doing it. I
Yeah.
was pulling teeth getting them to do it.
So
So
you was like the main one,
for
like
sure.
trying to push the
For
envelope
sure.
with that.
Like, yeah. So, I don't know. I just kind of always had it in me. Really funny. I ain't never told nobody this, but probably like fifth or sixth grade, like six. That's when we was on Gucci, real heavy. We was on Gucci. We was on Boosie. We was on Wayne.
Yeah.
And I used to listen to their songs, and I would take out like majority of their words, and fill them in with words that
Yeah. We used
reflected
to do the
whatever I
same
had going
thing.
up. So that's damn near when I think about it now that I'm saying it out loud. That's
Yeah.
probably really where like the writing started. Then I was like, okay, this kind of chatty. Like, let me write my own shit. Like, let me write my own shit. So, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so that got it. So even with coming up with like writing, like doing like stories and stuff too,
Hmm.
do you think all that like kind of help you transition to be a better writer too for the music?
Absolutely. I think that's probably where I get that storytelling like feel from. Like even when I shit talk, I naturally kind of still line up. Like it don't be a story, but it's always a rhyme to the rhythm, like always. So
Yeah.
I think that that definitely is probably part of the reason why I dibble and dabble with the storytelling and the way that I stack certain verses and shit.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Nice. Nice. And going in that just a little bit deeper.
Hmm.
So where did you feel like you were gonna go when you first started doing music? Did you always knew that you was gonna get to this point, or did you was like, I'm just gonna play around with it and just see what happens? Did you already had that like mindset that you was gonna get there,
No,
or
definitely not.
what?
I'm shy as hell. Honestly, I'm real laid back. And for a while it was crazy because like in my head I was gonna always be a part of the music scene, but I
Yeah,
didn't think that I would be like in the center of the scene. I thought maybe I would manage an artist, or like for a minute I was like, oh, I'm gonna do radio, and I'm gonna just do be behind the scenes and still get to know everybody, get all the same access, but I don't have to be the center of it. So
yeah,
no, but I will say, like at the point I knew at the point when I dropped it was gonna be serious. So when I decided to drop the music, yeah, at that point, like I knew that when I did it, I was gonna have to do it right. I was gonna have to stick with it, because it might catch on.
hmm,
But leading up to that, no, I never was just always like, yeah, I'm gonna be a rapper, or I'm gonna be a celebrity, or no shit
yeah,
like that. Like, no, I never even when I got interested in it, I was just like, okay, what's the easiest way to get in, dominate the game, and make money? Like, fuck trying to be, just this
yeah,
big mega star. Like, where's the money? You feel me? Let's get in, get this money, and amplify these other businesses and shit that we trying to do for the city. So that was always my outlook on it. It's a blessing.
yeah,
I'm
for
not I'm
sure.
not downplaying it, at all, because it's a blessing. But no, that was never a big thing for me. Like I just knew I was gone.
Okay, okay. So now looking at where you're at now, do you feel like the level that you're at is that broken like some of that shyness too and made you more outgoing, or is it still like bits and pieces that's still growing with you?
I'm definitely still growing through it, but I'm learning. I can say that, like, at first I had a lot of resistance with it. I was just like, I'm me. Like I don't like talking to people. I don't like, I like sitting in the corner by myself,
Yeah,
and I had to realize, like, you can like that, and you can, hold yourself back, or you can push yourself outside your comfort zone, and what's normal to you, and just do more. So it has brought me on my shell a lot, performing. That's something that I had to like really push myself to break out and be like, well, it's part of the craft, so I
yeah,
had to do it. So yeah, it's helped me a lot, but I think that it's still a lot of growth. But I got a lot of overall growth as an artist. It's a lot of things, that still got to be polished and worked on. I feel like that's what anybody does. Like, never stop working on your craft. So yeah,
yeah. What
for
was
real.
your first show that you did that really just took off for you, where you was like maybe shy, but you went out there and you felt like, okay, yeah, I did my thing with this.
I don't know the exact like where the switch changed, but I would say like the end of last year was
Hmm.
like when I really started taking more control of, like, you only got 10 to 20 minutes, like out of 24 hours, go kill them 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
Um Figure the Kid, shout out my nigga Figure the Kid. When I got around Fig, he was the first person that really like very brutally cut into me about performing. It was like, basically, stop taking your ass up there if you're not gonna do it right. If you're not gonna at least try, he like, at least when you try and people can see that you're trying to do better, because I used to be real sloppy. You could tell I did not enjoy performing, and you could tell, I'd be
hmm,
looking like I'm ready to get off falling behind, looking at other shit, and I just appreciate that because I'm surrounded by people that's like, you got the lyricism, you got the energy for it, you got, all this shit, but it takes other things too.
Yeah.
So when I look back and I reflect with like Fig and shit, or and we look back on the shows, it's just like a compilation of them. It's not one specifically, but it's just I can look back and see the transformation and confidence, and working the stage, crowd engagement, all
Mm-hmm.
the shit that my friend have been on my head about. So
Yeah.
yeah, overall, it's just I think looking back at all of them and just seeing my progress for sure. New York was when we went to New York,
Oh yeah.
that was a big one for me because even though the crowd wasn't huge, we was in a room with all motherfuckers that we knew we didn't know. They was
Yeah.
from another culture. They was from another,
Yeah.
and I mean
Yeah.
rock, and they showed us hella love. But that was one that I probably looked back and was like, damn, like you did that. Like you ain't. I wasn't looking back at nobody like, oh, I don't want to do it, or
Yeah.
oh, I'm like, oh shit. It's that now to where it's just like, all right, let's get it done. So.
So how is it in the city of Flint for those who don't know, like trying to work with other female artists?
I feel like it hasn't been much of a challenge for me to connect with other female artists, but I feel like I have more guys probably reach out. So I have consciously made a point to make sure that I work with more females because I never wanted to look like damn, she don't support the females, but she be under the guys, or whatever. Because it's not that I just have had more guys organically reach out, but I got some crazy, crazy, crazy shit on the way with Jada Ali.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing
Yeah,
a
yeah,
post
yeah.
about that too.
So
So
that's dope. Me and Dede Flint got music on the way. Dede hard, y'all.
oh yeah, yeah. Shout out
Um,
Day Day Flint too.
yeah, yep. So I got music on the way with her. My homegirl CNP. They
Hmm.
from out in the Beecher way, but we just shot a video maybe 2 weeks ago. So that's dropping. So I got stuff that I'm working with different females in the city. I don't feel like it's much of a challenge. I feel like you just gotta if you want it to happen, you can make it happen. Ain't nobody untouchable around here for real. Like
Yeah,
when it come to getting in touch, motherfuckers might put on that facade, but reach out, hit them up,
yeah,
and watch the song come together. It'll
yeah.
happen.
So even with that, I'm gonna dive into that too. Do you feel like when you was starting out, do you feel like it was hard trying to connect with other people in the beginning, or do you feel like yo transition was easy?
It was easy for me. Um, I still had challenges. Still to this day, I had challenges with it, and part of the challenge be because some people did see that it was easy for me to transition in, and they don't like that. You know what I mean? Because you might have niggas that's been trying to transition in for 5, 6 years with people who took me in with open arms, and my thing be like, you can't be mad at me for that. I didn't do shit out the way. I ain't hound nobody down no crazy type of way. I did, I just
Yeah.
literally put my product out there. I showed up at events that was around the city that was open for artists. When I was
Hmm.
at the events, I spoke up, I introduced myself, I let people know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I dropped a couple videos, and slowly, I started having people hit me up. A few that have now developed into like real, friendships over time. But that was just my experience. I done heard people say the opposite, but I have been genuine in the shit I have done.
Hmm.
I that's all I can tell somebody. Be you, be genuine. I'm goofy. I'm a little shy. I'm a little dingy sometimes,
Yeah.
but I'm me. I don't try to be shit else, and that's why the niggas that I be around or whoever. That's why they have me around because they know shit. I'm just gonna be me, bro. Like get this music, get this money. We gonna laugh.
Hell
We gonna
yeah.
eat good.
Have a good time.
Whatever.
You're supposed
Yeah,
to have fun doing this too.
yeah.
Like people, I guess people, they let their egos and where they not going in their life, hinder them really from trying to get to that next level. You
Mm-hmm.
took it upon yourself out of your time to go out here to shows, network, and put yourself in position because you want to be great.
Yeah, me
You,
and Reese, we was popping up everywhere. Shout out to Reese, boss lady Reese.
oh
That's
yeah,
my
shout out
manager.
Reese. Yeah.
Yeah, my manager, my business partner. We run the A10 flow together too.
Yup.
But that's who I was. I was showing up with one person. I wasn't coming with no entourage. I wasn't coming 4 or 5 deep. We was pulling up at the Antidote. We was pulling up at Pee Wee spot. We was
Yup.
pulling up at, Wave. We was pulling up to events downtown, showing up at art walks, meeting different videographers, and we was just doing what we could to, hopefully amplify what we was trying to do. And God willing, it did, align us to where we have kind of needed to be. So yeah.
So what's a short term and long term goal that you set for yourself?
Short term is definitely touching back on being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them things that I'm probably always gonna be on myself about, just because I am so laid back. Like, I get in my modes where I be like, I don't want to be in the spotlight. Like, damn, posted for what? I damn near don't want to be seen right now, And
Yeah, yeah.
I have to realize, like, that's something that I just gotta do. I gotta stay consistent. Finding my target audience, that's another short term goal. That is something that, like, we focused on right now, dropping consistently enough to find the target audience and target them, and get the music out, excuse me, in those
Mm-hmm.
areas. Long term goals, I think, is just to have longevity with it, like to be able to actually make something that's not just short term out of this. Long term is definitely accumulating or monetizing, I'll say, off of the things that I'm doing, enough to be able to invest in other things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch the game long enough to know that you don't just get rich off rap. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I would like to be able to accumulate some money that I can put into some other businesses, invest in myself in other ways, and things like that, to be able to amplify what I want to do. I want
Mm.
to be able to give back to the city, throw events, do the same thing, do things like Jeff Sky is doing, throw barbecues and tell everybody, come out. Don't bring, you ain't got to have no money in your pocket if you don't got it. You know what I mean? Just come out with love and catch a good vibe. So long term, would just be able to give back and amplify the shit that I'm doing times 100. But starting with at least rap. So
Yeah.
when I go to events around the city and they be drama free, they be good. It be a good feeling. It be like, damn, like, we do be having fun in our city, or we can come out deep as hell. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to, even with the A1 on flow. Like, that's our goal, just to help push other people. Like, we don't get no money from that. We don't really get a lot of recognition for it. You know what I mean? But we literally have a platform that we don't do anything but share things that involve the music scene, the Flint industry, stuff like that.
For sure.
Um, that's something I want to speak on
Yeah,
too. The
go
Flint
ahead.
industry.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
talk on that.
Yeah, let me open up on the Flint industry a little bit. I feel like when we like tried to bring life back to the Flint industry, because for the record, like, that had been around back in the day, like D Steel and them, they was kind of running with it, and I don't know if it just didn't take off, or they just was like, fuck it. But
Mm-hmm.
me and Reese was like, let's run with it. Like, let's bring the Flint industry back. And that was just in the thought of, like, everybody else has an industry. So Atlanta got an industry, Florida got their industry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chicago got an industry. And we was like, Michigan is starting to have an industry, but still, as Flint, we should have our own unit. We should be able to move as the industry. When we say we coming out, let's know that the Flint industry is in the building. We here.
Yeah.
And so when me and Reese kind of tried to drop it, I think it got interpreted as like death row. Like, motherfucker, like, they
Yeah.
really wasn't fully fucking with it, because and that was partly our fault, because we didn't fully explain what was going on with it. So I think people took it as like it was me and Reese's thing. Like, well, if I'm claiming Flindustry, I'm claiming Tay and Reese shit, and it was like, hell no, like, we under the Flindustry.
Yeah.
We under, you know what I mean? So what I try to explain, I guess the easiest way to explain it is, if you are a creative that's doing any type of music, playing an instrument, if you're a fan, you know what I mean, a video vixen, anything that is being done under the category of Flint music, you part of the Flint industry, man. It's not. I'm not asking you to join. I'm
Yeah.
not.
It's
It's not
like,
a sign up sheet.
yeah,
You're part of the Flint industry. You play a part in the Flint industry. So I just have really wanted to speak on that. I have not done an interview since we dropped that, but I have wanted to speak on that because it just, I feel like I misinterpreted, and I feel like that's why a lot of people didn't catch on to it all the way,
yeah.
because we was the ones presenting it, and I might have looked at it too, like, oh, well, that must be their thing. They get, No, it's not a gang. It's nothing like that. It's just we are the Flindustry.
It's
So
a movement.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
know, sometimes it's sad the fact that you even got to go through and explain
yeah. I know
yourself
for
and
a
that.
fact it was misinterpreted a little bit because I have heard it, and I just was like, damn, like we don't even we don't how did, I don't know. We didn't make the Flindustry. It was already here. We joined it and brought life, more life
Yeah,
to it.
yeah,
So whatever. But the A10 flow, okay, that's Tay and Reese, But when you see the Flinders Street, just know like that's for all creatives. That's some shit that we gonna keep. When we say Flinders Street versus everybody, we're not saying Tay and Reese versus everybody. We speaking about all of us. So
yeah. Well,
yeah,
I shout you out for even, taking the time to even break that down and mention that too. And also shout out to A10 Flow too, cause
appreciate that.
y'all be throwing some good ass events too.
Yeah, we about to we finna get back on the road. We had kind of took a step back and just was like partnering and doing what we could, behind the scenes to try to see like what the scene needs. What can we bring that, we could really be a benefit to the scene for. And so we just been kind of sitting back and watching, getting Tay Boogie, in line because simultaneously we working as business partners and then this is my manager also. So
Yeah,
we juggle it all. But yeah, we got a couple events under our belt that we planning, and I think it's gonna be dope. I think
for
it's gonna be
sure.
dope.
I like that.
Yeah,
It's always great to have a guest on here, man, that's trying to do stuff for the community and also build people up with her. So that's fire. I appreciate you for coming on saying that.
absolutely.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and finish it off with the final thought on some Jerry Springer.
Okay.
All right, what's the most important lesson that you learned so far, no matter if it's in the business or just in life?
Hmm. I would probably say like just always being willing to learn. Like
Hmm.
that I kind of stand on that. Like no matter what you're doing, who you are, how big you are, you gotta be willing to learn. I think at the point when you like start feeling like you too good to intake gems or to absorb from other people, that that's where you start to fall off. So I would just say always be willing to learn and adapt. Like you got to be willing to literally adapt to anything because life is one of them things where anything can happen at any moment, and you gotta keep going. So that's probably my biggest thing, though. I feel like always keep learning. Like when I'm around people,
Hmm.
if I'm not learning from you after we've been around each other for so long, I kind of be looking at you sideways because everybody I'm around, we absorb and get shit off of each other. We feed each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay. Y'all hear that, man? Just
yes, sir.
simple. Listen, learn, keep yourself around positive energy, and don't be afraid to step up and do what you got to do if you really truly want to achieve greatness at a
For
higher
sure,
level.
for sure.
Has share. Well, that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for Fly Talk Live. Hey, real quick, tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me at Tay Boogie on Facebook, Tay Boogie Official on Instagram. Yeah, they have to find my Twitter and shit on their own. I don't be wanting that. I don't know. So if you
Gotcha.
find it, follow me. I will follow you back. But Tay Boogie Official on Instagram. Tay Boogie on all streaming platforms, even the ones you think I'm not on. I'm on there. New visuals on the way. I got new music on the way. More content like this, hit me up. I'm gonna make sure I'm posting the email where y'all can hit me
I
up.
appreciate you taking time out your very, very busy schedule and us sitting down and letting me learn a little bit more about you and letting my audience and everybody out there know a bit more about you too. So
Absolutely.
very much appreciated. But hey, y'all stay locked in with Fly Talk Live, man. We coming with more content, more drops. Hey, DM me if y'all want to get registered and set up with another interview.
Okay.
I'm Jay Stats. Yeah, we live with it. Let's go.